Hi, I'm Tasha Cleveland with Awaken Your Interior. Thanks so much for following my podcast, listening closely, and downloading the journal. I wanted to take a moment to show you how to use it.
So you can print out all of the pages at home, staple them together, and fold it in half, and you've got a journal that you can work with. If you want to take it to a printer and have it spiral bound, just have it all printed out, double-sided, and then have them chop it in half and stick that spiral on there. The day section, just fill in the day that it is chronologically. Don't worry if you skip a day. Just pick it up the next day and keep going. The point of this journal is I know that whatever I focus on, I bring more of into my life. And that is the good and the bad. And if all I focus on is the bad, I'm going to get a whole lot more of that. So I want to focus on the good. And I want to pay attention. I want that mindfulness in my life. I know I'm supposed to be drinking 8 glasses of water, but do I do it every day? Maybe not. When I have to write it down, I'm a lot more careful if I remember to fill that glass up. So we've got our water. I have a large water bottle, so what I do is I just fill up my water bottle twice. That's why I've broken it into two. So if you have a similar situation, feel free to do it that way. I just cross off the set of 4 or do it 1 glass at a time. As far as the fruits and veggies go, we all know what we're supposed to be doing, but if I don't pay attention to it, I might go a couple days without any fruit and maybe a day or two without any veggies. That's not what I want to be doing. But if I have extra mindfulness and accountability to my day about what I put in my body, then I'm much more likely to do it. So just aiming for that, healthy goal of fruits and veggies each day. The sunshine and the avocado, use that as your supplements. So for me, I'm working on my healthy fats and my vitamin D. For you, it could be whatever your supplements are, use that for the sunshine, cross it off, whatever your other things are. Go ahead and use those two how you need for your own personal diet and what your goals are. Self-care. So these little hearts and hands, that's you taking care of yourself each day. And it's really the simple things. Like oftentimes I write down taking a bath, taking a shower, sitting in my chair. I have a special chair in my bedroom. If I take a moment to sit down and just look out the window for a couple minutes and watch the tree blow in the wind, that's my self-care. Did I paint my toenails? It doesn't really matter what it is, as long as I took a moment for myself and I wasn't doing anything for anybody else. Sometimes that's my sweets. So the trick here is it's not about checking off, yeah, I had 2 chocolates today. It's about, did you have that treat and were you fully present in the moment? Sometimes I like to sneak into my closet and close the door and turn off the light and have my treat in there because it's the only place I know people aren't going to find me. And something magical happens when you eat with the lights off. So I feel like when the lights are off, I taste that 1,000 times more. Instead of having to eat 10 pieces of chocolate, I can eat one if I'm fully present with each bite. So really, using that moment of self-care in the tiniest possible ways, but really being fully present to your body and what your body's asking and needing. The music. I aim for listening to 3 songs a day, and I prefer listening to 3 new songs a day unless I'm dancing to it. So if I'm dancing, that's what this cute little yoga girl is. That is my movement. So if I've done movement and I've danced to 3 songs, that would be checking those 3 songs off the list and my movement. If I'm just listening and it's my music therapy and I'm just listening to my new Spotify weekly playlist, then I would just be checking that off there. But I know I'm a whole lot happier when I'm listening to music. Heart rate here is getting some exercise each day, getting my heart rate up. I'm not the best at remembering to do this, so I do need some accountability right there. Sometimes I'll notice that there may be a correlation between how good of a day I have and how good of sleep I had the night before. So really just noticing, was my sleep good? It doesn't have to be a certain number of hours. It's, did I wake up rested? Did I feel rested for my day? And if you've got little guys, you probably did not. um, but noticing the good days and seeing if it has an impact on how you feel. And aiming for a little bit more, feeling a little bit more rested each time. Best moment and hard moment, those are pretty easy. I loved keeping track of my best moments and the hard moments, sometimes it's good to keep track of those too. Seeing how far you've come, especially when you're looking back at it. Maybe it's not so fun in the moment, but reflecting on it and seeing how you've grown is good. The aha moment, I love getting my oxytocin and my dopamine fix. I just love that. And so anytime I've got those awesome aha moments in my day, I jot that down. And it could be something simple like figuring out how to hang that wallpaper, which is what I did the other day, and finally figuring out how to get it up on the wall, right? Or, changing a lock, or, solving a puzzle, or playing a game with my kids. Anytime you get that great aha moment about yourself or about life. Moments of joy. Those are always great to keep track of because oftentimes our days are so busy we overlook them or we don't look for them. We don't pause long enough to get them. And so I love remembering my moments of joy, whether it's seeing, laughing with my kids or, sitting in bliss with my husband or drinking my coffee or something like that, where I really just had a moment where I just felt total joy. Noticing beauty, those are important moments in my day. Like right now, the sun is starting to set, and I love looking outside and seeing that golden light cast across things. I just love seeing the twinkle of sunlight as it moves through surfaces and on surfaces. And anytime I can see something that's beautiful, like architectural details, or it could be something, someone's shoe. It doesn't matter what it is, just noticing that beauty in the world. And then gratitude. Every time we can focus on our gratitude, it's going to be a better day. It's going to be a better life when we're focusing on what we're grateful for instead of what we expect. Gratitude for my partner. Sometimes be compassionate with yourself because sometimes these things are a little bit harder to find. And the more you do this, the easier it'll be. But sometimes there'll be days where I didn't see my husband at all, and I really have to think about what is it that I'm grateful for about my husband today. But the more you do it, the more you see it, the more you will encourage it in your life, and the more you actually say it to your partner, the more he's going to feel like he's got points on the board if he's a masculine, and the more she's going to feel like she really wants to be contributing, if you're with a feminine. Anytime you can share gratitude for your partner, it's going to make them want to play the game. It's going to make them want to be in it. And it's going to make them want to give you more and be a better partner. That's how you lift each other up to be the best version of yourselves. The space I improved today and how it feels now and what I can improve tomorrow. So these are really all about taking the time each day to see one little thing that you can improve. Sometimes it's overwhelming when you look at your house and you're like, oh my God, I have to clean everything. But if you stop long enough to just be like, okay, I'm just going to wipe off the bathroom counter today. That's it. All I'm going to do is the bathroom counter. You'll be surprised that these tiny little things will change how you feel in your space so much. I love wiping off my bathroom counter. Sometimes, those bottles and potions and lotions can kind of crawl across the counter and take up way too much space. And when you wipe that all off and put them away, suddenly there's this silence when you walk into your bathroom and it feels so much easier to use your space. But it's the tiniest thing. So finding one little thing you can do each day. So what did you do that day? How do you feel now using that space? And what tiny thing can you do tomorrow? I don't care if it's cleaning the toilet, folding your laundry, actually putting it away. It doesn't matter what it is. What's your tiny thing that you're going to focus on for tomorrow? Okay, saw my beauty. You know what? This is this is right back to gratitude. The more we're looking for it, the more we'll get it, the more we'll see it. Um, it's really hard in society today to feel beautiful. It's hard. It doesn't matter what you look like. Most of us look in the mirror and see what's wrong instead of what's right. And the more that you can look for what's beautiful about you and find one tiny thing to appreciate when you look in that mirror and just be like, hell yeah, I got it. It doesn't matter what it is. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, yeah, today was a great curl day. Wow, my hair looks really rich and chocolatey today. Sometimes when I look in the mirror, I'll see the sunlight just kind of like grazing my hip. And I may not have the best relationship with my stomach. You know, stomachs are hard for us. We're always, we want a six pack. And if you don't have a six pack, it's kind of hard to find love for your stomach unless you got a baby in there. Um, it's hard to see that beauty in yourself. And oddly enough, that's one of the places I find beauty in myself. The swoop of my hip as it swoops from my hip to my stomach. But if I don't give myself permission to see beauty in that instead of my imperfection there, then all I'm going to see when I look in the mirror is my imperfections. But I allow myself that moment to linger, to look, to say, yes, that is beautiful, and find it more and more every time I look in the mirror. The moment I lingered. So when you're lingering, it's really about listening when your body says, hey, I'm not done yet. So if you sat down and you were looking, say, sometimes I sit in the sun to drink my coffee in the morning. And if I get up too early, like someone needs something from me, I can feel it in my body. I can feel my body say, hey, I'm not done yet. And the moments that I stop and I go back and I sit back down, or the moment where I actually touched that thing that I found beautiful. Sometimes my noticing beauty and my moment I lingered are hand in hand. And sometimes it's combined with joy. So if I see something beautiful in the world, like maybe a vase, and then I stop and I touch it and I linger in it and I see all of the intricate things of that item that I find beautiful, or I took a bath and I sat there as long as I wanted in that bathtub until the water was cold and my body said, and I'm done. What was that moment that you lingered, that you stopped and you went back and you got the fuzzy sweater instead of the prickly one? Finding those moments where your body is saying something, where your body is giving you a call and you are responding. How I nourished. Okay, like I said, those are right over here with the self-care. So you're checking them off the list over here, and over here you're writing down, how did I nourish? So what was it? I took a shower. I gave myself a foot massage. I did conditioner in my hair and let it sit. Whatever it is, how did you nourish that day? And you're going to find some patterns of what your body, if you're listening to your call, like in your linger, if you're listening to your body's call, you'll also notice patterns in how your body is asking to be nourished. So really paying more attention to that call, that request to be nourished, and listening and giving your body that. Okay, feeling and where I feel it. Your body has some basic emotions, and I couldn't get them all on here. And I found that when I left this blank, it was a little bit harder to come up with a precise feeling. Sometimes I just wrote frustration. There was a whole lot of times I wrote frustration. But frustration is truly a combination of some of these core emotions. And so I would just like you to circle any of the emotions that you're feeling. And all of them are okay. And frustration is sort of like anticipation and anger, mixed together. So sometimes they're a combination of a couple things. But I want you to know it's okay to be writing down that I'm joyful and I'm disgusted with something. I'm joyful and I have anger. All of the emotions are okay. They all belong to you. And I want you to start saying that they are okay. You don't have to just be happy all the time. You don't have to pretend that everything is wonderful. Acknowledge the moments in your life that aren't great. That's why you've got the hard moment. But you also have the best moment. So, what else is there? It's not just focusing on the hard, it's focusing on the good too. It's feeling all of the rainbow of who you are at the same time. But today, what is on top for you? What is the emotion that you're feeling the most right on top of the surface? And as you circle that top emotion, whatever it is, what else comes up? What's the next layer? Do you have a couple layers sitting on the top? Circle those. And then where do you feel it in your body? Because these emotions are not just floating out in the abyss. These emotions are connected to your body. Where do you feel your sadness? I feel my sadness in my stomach. I feel my anger in my jaw. I feel it in my jaw. I clench my jaw when I'm angry or I'm frustrated. Sometimes, you'll get the headache that is connected with disappointment. Sometimes I feel things in my fingers. I'll feel, actually, I feel powerful in my fingers. So noticing where these emotions are connected in your body. That's what you're doing right here. And really circle one and move on. But if you are able to, if you can sit just a little bit longer and really peel back the layers and see what's connected for you, then I think that you are going to really start to understand your body in a whole new way and really start to tap in to who you are, how you feel, and what your body is asking of you. The last section is for your soul work notes. So if I give you an assignment for soul work that day, jot down what you learned about yourself in this little section. That's it. So thank you so much for listening to my podcast and downloading my journal. I can't wait to talk with you again tomorrow. Thank you again.